Hi, my name is Brian. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Taiwan, and this is my story. Well, first of all, I lived in three places in my very short 20 years of life. I've lived in Taiwan, which is the place where I was born and I was brought up in, and I've also lived in Australia, which is basically I spent most of my middle school and about half of my high school time in that country, and then now I'm here in the US. My dad wanted me to. My dad's always been really adamant about language. He thought that, as when I was really young, he thought that English is a very important language to learn because, if you go to some other country, they're not going to speak Chinese to you. English is basically your go-to language because everyone, no matter how little they know how to speak it, at least a little. So he was really adamant about that, and he thought, you know what, the best way to learn language was to really throw a person into that environment and have them just live and be bombarded by the language every single day. What I thought of the United States was that, it's a big country. It has a lot of different people, and by different I mean different culture, different religion, um, different different views on different topics or different subject matters. So that was me. So I thought, oh wow, the United States is probably a pretty accepting place, which it is. It actually is. So far in my 4 weeks, my 4 weeks of living in Boston, everyone's been very wonderful and very accommodating. So that's really good. That's always a plus. And so yeah. Why I chose the US was also majorly influenced by the movies. After that, you know what, movies? I'm saying this to all the directors out there. You have a really big influence on people on how people make their choices. But anyway, see, this is the thing. I've always wanted to go to the US, even when I was in Australia, because I was in a bit of a more rural area. So I've always wanted to see, what the US city is all about, how it's different from Taipei, how it's different from my home country. In Taiwan, I was this boring, quiet kid, and I have all this daydream inside of my mind. So honestly, in Taiwan, I was probably thinking about rainbows and unicorns every single day because there's no one to really, because I don't really have anyone to talk to. So I kind of live in this little bubble that I've created for myself, where it's like a super awesome utopia, and it's beautiful there. But but then I went to Australia, and reality hit me, being that, you know us human, we are relational people, and we need people. And my problem at that time was that I didn't know English. So like I said, I was a bit of a loner for the time. That taught me to be independent. It also taught me to be down to earth because not everyone likes unicorns and rainbows. Honestly, not everyone does. If you still do that, don't. Okay? That wasn't my problem when I was in Australia. I was only 10. So my mom did all the thing. Coming to the US was a little bit of a stress because I don't know if you know this. You have to fill out like this thing. The for starters, my passport, that's easy enough. You just go to a place, throw in your application, they give you a passport. They send it out to you in like 5 days. Fast, easy, the easiest thing you can ever do. But then for my visa, you have to go online and fill out all this form. And then, it was like 7 to 10 pages long, and I was going through it. And a lot of the questions didn't really make sense to me because, like, for example, it asked me for my grandfather's birthday. I was like, okay, I'm sorry, my grandfather passed away in August, so I don't know when he was born. Neither does my dad, and if he were still alive, I don't think he remember as well because he's 88 years old with Alzheimer's, that kind of thing. I wouldn't But if you ask me, I wouldn't say that they have to fix anything. I just feel like the people or whoever's in charge of working in the immigration department in the United States, I just feel like they should maybe have a more open heart to the people that wish to come to the country. A lot of the people, some of them are refugees. They come from war-torn countries and they need to come into the United States in search of family or stay with relatives so that they can start a new life. Maybe and maybe sometimes if it involves kids, you got this 9-year-old kid that just that had to run away from his home country because within one night his whole village was basically blown up and turned into ashes. He needs, with things like that, kids, they need a place to ground themselves before they can they can grow and learn and do things like that. So I mean, I understand that there's always safety issues, there's always security issues with new people coming into a country, especially in countries that were in civil wars or that's been having conflict whatsoever. But just bear in mind that these are just people looking to start a new life or looking for an opportunity to start a new life. It's different from what I was expecting because of the movies and the TV shows, but it has lived up to my standard. Everyone's been very accommodating and very, very wonderful to me. Helpful people, really, really helpful, amazing people. Some of the nicest people around I sort of are in the city. Some of the nicest people. So, and also the people I get to stay with and the people I get to meet. It's just an amazing chance for me to grow and to learn about other people's culture and learn about other people as well, and learn about how to, well, I don't want to say to deal with, because that sounds that doesn't sound right, but I guess how to socialize with people. I was gonna say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, but to me that's a load of crap. Obviously, go and blend in with the country's culture, but remember to retain that part of you, the part of you that's your own. Remember to always hold on to your original identity. I guess I could put it that way. And oh, don't stress out about the visa thing like I did. It's honestly nothing to stress out about. And for those of you who want to come to the States, definitely, you know what? Don't. There's nothing to think about. Just book a ticket, get your visa, pack your stuff, and just fly here. Just do it.